Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome all of you back here again. Here's a report that's coming out of New York on Twitter by the name of 9/11 Operator, who tweeted that the New York Police Department are releasing a harmless gas into the New York subways to test a chemical reaction that could spread in case of a terror attack. And this is right here is really interesting that they're conducting all these exercises, the Oregon shootings, the Aurora shootings, the Sandy Hook shootings, the bombings in Boston, Massachusetts. All these were all conducted exercises that were happening all across the country and have been doing it in a large scale. And then the recent one inside of Texas. Well, this is another one right here that they're doing right here inside of New York City. The question is what in the hell is going on? Why are they conducting all of these exercises at once? But I believe personally it's for several different reasons, because each one of these drills have a story to them. First of all, the chemical drills that they're doing, they're telling you a story that there's going to be a chemical attack on the population inside of the United States. Mass casualty drills. They're telling you that they're going to be a large mass casualty. This is not just only inside of the city of Boston or in the city of Texas or New York. We're talking about a nationwide mass casualty epidemic that they're going to create. And all these little drills are all preparing us psychologically for this event. Now, then you have the military working with law enforcement and all this hoopla that happened inside of Boston, showing you and telling you a story that military are going to soon be working on a permanent basis with local law enforcement, conducting a police state tactics. And these are not just only drills anymore, but these drills are prepping you for what is to come in the future. So anyhow, this is a warning about that, and then we get on over here. I'm going to show you, we're going to go back over to Boston story real quick to show you some new information. And here you see these two first responders that work with FEMA, and these first responders are admitting to Anderson Cooper that they were there for a different agenda. And then you see they go to admitting that they were kicked into action to go inside of this bombing area where the bomb took place to go help these victims out, blah, blah, blah. Well, this is starting to turn out to be the same scenario story that took place in 2001, September the 11th, when Tom McKinney went on the CNN and also on the CBS, admitting that he was there inside of New York City just before the attacks at the World Trade Center, and that they were kicked into action early that morning to go and help out with the so-called victims of 9/11. Now, so this is looking like it's the same story, but then we have, and this is all a bunch of BS. They were there a part of the drill. That's the whole purpose why FEMA was even there. That's the whole purpose why the military was even there. And, of course, they're going to try to sell it off as for your security, for your benefit. And that, this is the way that they dumb you down. Well, I showed you on the last video that I made that FEMA admits that they're hiring actors. I've shown you that they are simply hiring also the media, hospitals to participate in these real-time, realistic simulations of terror drills. They even tell the actors to sign a waiver form. I showed you all this documents where they make them sign a waiver form of silence of what they learned and what they what they were training with, not to say nothing, not to speak nothing. That this is all a part of the exercise. And that they signed a waiver and they agreed to to the waiver of what they're going to be doing. Also telling them what they're supposed to wear, and also letting them know that even your clothes are going to be shredded. You're going to be victims. You're going to be bomb blast victims. You're going to be chemical victims. You're going to be all kinds of victims. This is all in the document I showed you in the previous video. Now, so here when you look at these two right here, this is the so-called Carlos Arrendando. I guess is how you pronounce his name. It's really his last name is hard. I'm not good at Spanish, but I try to kill it anyways for a little bit, just for fun. But his name is Carlos. We'll just call him Carlos. So it helps me from not having to stumble over my words. This guy is supposed to be an anti-war protester who lost his son during a war. Who turns out to be, we find out as we do a little bit more biography research on this guy, he turns out to be a Red Cross first responder. And this woman here is also an employee, a doctor, mind you, inside of a pediatric hospital working with pediatric patients. And here she was also admitting that she was a participant in the race, and she was running this long 26-mile race, and she got almost to the finish line, and she realized that there was this bomb, and then all of a sudden this boost of extra adrenaline and extra energy, and a woman that just admitted that she has a hurt leg, and she ran the whole race on a hurt leg, and all of a sudden she comes out of nowhere and she springs into action like Superman. She jumps over the fence and she goes there to save the people's lives on a hurt, broke ankle. Okay. Then she wants you to believe that she was a part of this witness. Guys, what you're witnessing is media propaganda, staged acting that is done on a realization simulation that I showed you on the government document of FEMA, admitting this on their documents that they're using and training media on what to sell to the public, how to conduct information to the public by propaganda means. You understand what I'm getting at? So this is all what you're seeing here is a clear propaganda machine at its best at a stage acting role where they're trying to make it look realistic as possible. All you have to do is look at their demeanor in their faces, their expression, their way that they conduct themselves, and look all around. Their eyes look down, their eyes look to the side, their eyes look to the right. They never look eye to eye contact, and they're sitting up there trying to reach that for information that are in their imaginary, dialogue to be able to sell this to you as being a real story. Again, here, oh, this woman's amazing. This woman is so fragile. If you blow on her, she would blow over. That's how skinny and how fragile this woman is. Was able to handle a blast so powerful, but managed to crawl away, not even pass out and faint, and even said that she was so tough that she didn't even feel no pain. Wow, guys. She was even tougher than the guy that's sitting right next to her. But here's the funny part, is that she was laughing the whole time and trying to give this fake crocodile tears, and she kept looking at her husband for approval of what she was saying. And then when he was talking, she would look to him, and you can watch her lips move as she was feeding him what to say to Anderson Cooper in this interview. And this is a storybook, a script. You can watch it. It's right there in front of your faces. I will post all these links, by the way, in the information tab whenever you want to look at this all these videos at your own time. So don't worry about it. I'm not going to play no videos because it takes too much time to do that and to give you all this information. So anyhow, so now with the juicy stuff. Remember what we talked about. A lot of you thought that this guy Jeff Bauman, it was the so-called double amputee victim that was there at the bomb blast zone and ground zero up there at the finish line. But it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, I kept telling you that this guy is not Jeff Bauman. I kept stressing this out with all of you because we found photographs that he looks extremely strikingly resemblance to this so-called guy by the name of Nick Zork, or Voked, whatever how you pronounce that damn last name. I can't even get that last name right. Let me find out what it is here real quick. I think it's Nick Vogt. However you say his damn last name. I hate people with freaking. Where do they get these weird names? Anyhow, there it is. Vogt. V-O-G-T. Okay. This guy right here. This is your so-called army guy who lost his legs during combat in his tour inside of Afghanistan. He also lost his left hand, which you're going to see right here. Okay. Hang on just a minute. Okay. He lost his left pinky on his left hand, as you see right here. Okay. Now, the only way to get you to see that this guy that was playing as Jeff Bauman is not Jeff Bauman is by the signature of his left hand. His left hand is the dead giveaway that shows you that this guy was Nick Vogt. V-O-G-T. Now, when you look at this left hand, you see how he's missing a pinky there? It got blown off during the attack when he was in Afghanistan. Now look at the facial resemblance. Okay, look real careful because it's going to show you in clarity that he is the same guy as what you see here. Okay? Look careful. And don't miss a beat. Watch careful, because here he goes. Now, you remember I told you that this is not Jeff Bauman. Notice how they make sure that his left hand is trying to be concealed, because that's a distinct signature that this is a hired amputee. Look right there. No, you can't see his hands. You can't see his left hand because it's his left hand is missing the pinky. So it's evident that you're thinking that this is Jeff Bauman, right? But let's go down here. We have only one photograph that we were able to obtain that shows you that this is definitely not Jeff Bauman, but it definitely shows and proves to you that this here is clearly Nick Vogt. Because if you look at his left hand right here in this photograph, you will see he's missing a pinky, but all of his other fingers are wide open. His thumb is open, his index finger, his middle finger, and his ring finger are open, wide open, like he's holding his hands. But the one finger that's missing is his pinky. You see there? So guys, then when we go to this picture here, see, they make sure they cover his hands here, because his hands is the dead giveaway. Now here's the problem with this picture. Is this picture photoshopped? You know, is this an older guy? Because this photograph looks old. It doesn't look new. You see what I'm getting at? And do I really want to believe that this is Jeff Bauman? I can't buy this. I can't say that this is that this is Jeff Bauman. And if it is, it's definitely photoshopped. That wheelchair is photoshopped. This whole scene is photoshopped. There's something very wrong with this image. And the photograph, with this digital age technology that we have today, wouldn't you think that this photograph would be a whole lot more clear, much more crisp, and much more pure in detail, and the pixelation would be a whole lot more bonded together instead of so broken up, where it looks like a grain, like it's a real grainy photograph of an older picture. But nonetheless, this looks like definitely a photoshopped image. And notice how they got that left hand hidden, so you cannot see the signature of this person's hands. So this is, again, guys, this is the clear fact that something just stinks all over Denmark. Now, this is another Photoshop of what's supposed to be Jeff Bauman, but if you look real careful at this photograph, look how broken up in the pixelation is. This is definitely a Photoshop, because none of the people you see in that blast are even standing in this photograph, and you would think that they would all still be in this picture. I believe that this photograph was taken of approximately maybe last year, maybe 2 years ago. Who knows? Maybe before even the war even occurred, that this photograph was taken. But this is definitely not Jeff Bauman, and it shows that this photograph, it looks to be photoshopped and instead of being an actual photograph. So, guys, this is just only leaving it to all of you to decide if you think it's real or not. I've already busted it. I do not believe this guy is Jeff Bauman, and this photograph that you all seen right here, when we get it back up again, this photograph right here is the dead giveaway. The left hand, both hands showing the lack of having a pinky. Now, and the fact that that photograph and this photograph both are identical people. They're both the same person. You can say what you will, guys, but I seriously believe that this guy sitting on that wheelchair is already an amputee, acting out a role as a victim of this bomb blast drill to make it look as realistic as possible, because they cannot use a man who has legs, okay, in order for this to look, how you say, realistic. Then there it is again. Also, the other claim: where is the blood on this man? There's no blood. This man would be doused in blood. You got to remember, he had severed arteries, and he laid there on the ground for several minutes before anyone attended to him. So this man should be covered, literally, his skin, everything, in blood. His clothes should be drenched in blood. But you don't see that in this scene. Period. By saying that, guys, it's all up to you to know the truth. And it's all up to you to research. I'm going to let this video go. Keep it up. And thanks for all of your support. And keep researching, guys, because I just busted this one. I nailed this one. And you can argue to the cows come home. I don't care. But this is real. This guy is definitely not Jeff Bauman, and I 100% believe that he is Nick Vogt, in spite of the lack of belief in this room. But anyhow, y'all take care, guys. I'll catch you next time.